Okay, so have you ever really thought about what those first few pages of the Bible are all about? I mean, it's a story most of us think we know, right? But it's way more than just 7 days of creation and a forbidden apple. It's this incredibly deep story about our purpose, what trust really means, and a single act of rebellion that literally changed everything. So let's dive in.
So, to really get Genesis, you first have to see how different it was from all the other creation stories back in the day. Most of those myths talked about the world being born out of some chaotic, violent battle between gods. But Genesis? Totally different. There's no fight, no struggle, just a calm, powerful voice speaking the world into being.
And that right there gets to the absolute heart of it. This story isn't just about how the world started, it's about why. The central theme is that creation, and that includes you, wasn't some cosmic accident. It was completely and totally intentional.
All right, so let's dig into that purposeful beginning. The whole story is laid out as this deliberate, step-by-step process, an ordered world just unfolding out of nothing. You see the creation story unfold in these really clear stages. Light appears in the darkness, the sky separates from the seas, land rises up. It's so methodical. It's kind of like watching a master puzzle maker at work, where every single piece fits perfectly and sets the stage for the next, all leading up to this final, incredible masterpiece. And what's that final piece of the puzzle? Well, it's us, humanity. The story calls us image bearers. Now, what does that mean? It means humans weren't made to be little gods themselves, but more like mirrors. Their whole purpose was to reflect the Creator's own character, his love, his creativity, his leadership, back into the beautiful world he had just made.
Okay, so this sets the stage for Eden, which is the backdrop for this perfect, harmonious world. It's painted as this ideal state of being, a world in total harmony, completely free from all the conflict and fear that we know today. I mean, just try to picture this for a second. A life with zero fear, no guilt, a crystal clear sense of your own purpose. A life of absolute freedom where your relationship with your Creator is just direct, open, and easy. That's the vision of Eden. It's this seamless connection between God, people, and all of nature. But in this world of absolute freedom, there was one single boundary, just one rule. And what it means is actually the key to the entire story. It was all a test of trust. So you gotta ask, right, in a perfect world, why have any rules at all? Why put this one limitation there? Well, the idea here is that it wasn't about restriction. It was all about relationship. It was about giving them a fundamental choice. And this really gets to the core of that choice. The rule was basically God saying, hey, trust me. Trust that I have your best interests at heart. Are you gonna choose to live in this relationship with me? Or are you gonna try to go it alone and define good and evil for yourselves? It's this profound question of reliance versus independence.
And this, of course, is where everything pivots. The serpent enters the scene and plants a seed of doubt, twisting God's words and making the choice seem like something else entirely. And that doubt leads to a decision that will change the world forever.
They ate, just like that. In that one moment, they chose independence. They decided they were going to be the ones to define good and evil for themselves.
So, what happened next? Was it the amazing wisdom and freedom they were promised? Not at all. The result was a world that immediately broke. The consequences were instant, and they were devastating. And this gives us a really powerful way to understand sin. It's not just about breaking a rule, eating a piece of fruit. It's declaring independence from God. The analogy that's used is super helpful. It's like a lamp unplugging itself from the wall. The lamp is still a lamp, but without that connection to the power source, its light just goes out. It can't do what it was made to do.
And pulling that plug set off this terrible chain reaction. The open, trusting relationship they had with God, it soured into fear, and they started hiding. The perfect harmony between Adam and Eve, it shattered, and they started pointing fingers and blaming each other. And that inner peace and freedom they had, gone, replaced by shame. The entire system just fell apart.
Now here's a really fascinating take on what happened next. We often see the expulsion from Eden as this really harsh punishment. But this interpretation frames it as an act of mercy. Why? Because it prevented humanity from being locked into that broken, disconnected state for all of eternity. It was a painful separation, for sure, but a necessary one. So, all of this leaves us with a pretty big question, doesn't it? If the heart of this ancient story is really about the choice between trusting our Creator and declaring our own independence, what does that look like for us today? Where in our lives do we choose our own definitions of what's good, and what happens when we do? It's a question that makes this 3,000-year-old story feel like it was written just yesterday.